Hello and welcome to Dario's Tabletop, and today we have again an episode of Mordheim. Don't worry, bold action is not gone. I have 3 battle reports, 4 battle reports on bold action. I will cover the Horus Heresy, and I played my first game of Zona Mortalis and it was amazing. But during the holidays, I got to play Mordheim, and it is such a good game. It is so good. It is so cheap. You just need a couple of miniatures. The rules are almost for free, and it's tons of fun. So bear with me. Mordheim is a banger. Let me show you around. So I got here a game, which this is was a cool game. It was not my game. Alex played it, and he led his dwarfs against the warbands of the Skaven. And I will cover this in the second part of the video because there is the first part, like my second game. Like we had the first game, which was the 3 warbands, the Bretonnians against the Middenheimers, against the Dwarfs. This is the first game, so go, it's the video before that one. And then the next game after that one, after I got an ogre, I will cover that. But as you can see, this is a short game. I played probably half an hour, and then I went and watched Alex game, which was very fun. And there's an important rule you need to read, and then there will be a separate video, and that will be a monster hunt. That was the big finale. We had 4 warbands allying against a dragon. So let's start with game 2. So I try to keep it very short. In game 1, I had to face off against Alex, his dwarfs, and I don't know what's his name, but he had the Middenheimers, and they allied against me, and it was totally possible in that scenario. And I took major losses, but I was pretty lucky, and I found some shards. I rolled a 666, and I got a mercenary, and I took an ogre. So the second game is escaping from combat. So one is the defender and one is the attacker, and I think one has to escape the board. And I totally took the asshole move because I'm Bretonnian, and I took the defender. So the enemy, the great guy who made the tables, brought his Dwarven Treasure Hunters, as you can see them here, really beautifully, and he has to run off the board with his warband, and I have to stop him. And so we played. Yeah, my Bretonnians, pretty much everybody's the same. So I got, as you can see, I got some archers. I got a henchman, 2 men-at-arms or squires. Here, this is my questing knight. This is my knights errant here, and I think these are the squires. And I got an ogre, not yet fully painted, but I will do. This one is called Django. So ogre, 80 golds, upkeep 30 golds, and this guy will do the work. And I have a slight advantage, I think, against the Dwarven Treasure Hunter. Not only are these guys pretty slow on this map, but yeah, I got the ogre, but who knows what will happen. So what is amazing is, like, a dwarf can bring an engineer, and as you can see, this one is modeled with 2 handgun. So the engineer expands the range of all the ranged weapons of the Dwarven Warband, because he engineers them very well. And this guy has 2 hand pistols, and I think 12-inch range, now maybe 15-inch. And here's the Troll Slayer, no armor, but he doesn't need to. And yeah, what else? We'll see. So the Dwarven player deploys and starts running towards the middle of the board. He wants to escape towards my side and get his people off the board. Again, here are the rounds, but not super important in Mordheim. What is more important is that yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's by round so and so, but sometimes it's just you play the scenario, so the rounds are not super important. It's my turn, your turn, and then whatever happens. I move my guys up so I can shoot at him, and I'm ready to face him because I have a big ogre, and I'm yeah kind of facing the dwarfs head on with my warband. Really luxurious, as you can see, sporting a big fat ogre on the front, followed by my questing knight and some knights errant. But the dwarfs, they shall know no fear, so they advance. They advance up, and I don't know what shoots at this guy. I think the dwarven engineer, with his double pistols, shoots at this guy and takes him not out of action. I think he's on his back, so he's just knocked down. Oh no, wait, he's out of action. Yeah, I took a casualty, but as you can see, I have a large warband, and I can somehow. I mean, you cannot pre-measure in this game, but you have a certain feeling how much can you charge. And I have a 6-inch movement, which should be like right up here, and I think the charge is movement double or movement plus initiative. I don't know anymore. Or do I roll for the charge? I have to see. But I know I can charge the dwarven guy a bit easier than he can charge me. And that is what happens. As you can see, I think I'm shooting at his dwarfs right here. And then I charge in with my questing knight, with my knights errant, and I charge his troll slayer with my ogre. And we start the first round, but I think I roll pretty poorly and I don't hit anything. He tries to hit back, but I think he rolls also very, very poorly and he also hits nothing. Yeah, that's what sometimes happens. So in the middle, I would say there's confusion, but it's not confusion, but yeah, we're kind of feeling it out. I'm sorry, but now this is where the battle is won or lost, and I think this is his chieftain and a warrior and his troll slayer against my ogre. Yeah, again, not yet fully painted. And I think he misses, and I think I miss, and yeah, pretty poor melee from both of us, or I don't know, we don't take casualties. I think these guys try to charge in right now. This guy went up in a terrain, I think. I don't know. Did he have some shooting weapons? And yeah, I don't recall anymore. But a bunch of shooting is going on. As you can see, this guy, awesome with 2 hand weapons. He already shot an archer. He's shooting another henchman. And in this fight, my ogre takes 2 wounds. No, he takes 1 wound. He has 3 wounds. He has still 2 remaining wounds. And the chieftain, I think I took out his warrior, but the chieftain is now hitting, and my guy is knocked out or knocked down. But I knock out or knock down his troll slayer, and we're fighting mano a mano on this battle. But I think this is not, yeah, he's a ranged guy, so he's taking soon the attacks of my Bretonnians. But it's looking quite good for me, so I have kind of the upper hand right in this match. I think there was one standing here, that is no more. And so I think the dwarfs concede to not lose more gold, I think. And I have 2 casualties, 3 casualties, but nothing really happens. Like he takes 2 casualties and he flees. We all pick up our gold, find a few shards, and I think nothing major happens. So This is why this is part one, and now we go into part two, which is also really cool. And so in part two, yeah, I have not very super sharp pictures. I don't know why, but yeah, Alex is facing off with his Dwarven Warband against some Skaven. And the mission is to hold the objectives in all of these ruined houses. And the objective states that you cannot flee, so they battled it out on infinite turns, but they overread something. Like they could have ended the game, or one could have retreated anytime. So it's good to read the scenario and the rules maybe twice, so you don't get stuck in a battle which maybe nobody can win. But we had fun watching. It was really fun. So you have like 6 buildings, and you have to enter the buildings and you have to hold them. And Alex in the first game was feeling just 5 dwarfs, fully kitted out with everything they could bring. And then in the second game, he got a bit smarter, a bit wiser, and brought a bunch more. And this time he was facing a Skaven horde. I think probably 20 Skavens with a red ogre. This guy gladly has initiative 1. So on a charge, he's getting strikes first. But yeah, he strikes last in every other scenario. And so the dwarves, with their stompy feet, they run up the hill, they run up the ladders and the houses. And in this game, really funny, they will fall also a lot on their faces, because as you can see, a lot of the rats are equipped with slings. And I think they have 2 shots, and they're not hitting super good, but there's just a ton of rats, rat infested houses, and Dwarven Treasure Hunters. And I think the Dwarven hate the rats. I don't know, but yeah, they are fighting it out on the ladders, on rooftops, and these goofy Skavens are giving the dwarves hell. But the dwarves are super resilient, and yeah, 20 rats against 10 or so dwarves. And as you can see, just a bunch of rats. And you cannot see super much of the map right now, but I have to say it's really funny going up this ruined buildings. I think somebody told me that this is original Mordheim cardboard that came with a game. So you have to climb up the ladder, you have to go through all of this ruined buildings, and just looking at it was so much fun. I mean, as you can see here, there's the dwarves concentrating on this flank and trying to score. And I guess they have muskets, but he really gave them crossbows, so they're holding objectives, and the Skaven are also holding objectives. And there's also some dwarves right here that will climb up the ladder. And so it's elite versus horde. And what was pretty epic was this fight here in the middle, because this dwarven chieftain was holding up the whole bunch, and it was like the 300 moment. You shall not pass. It was Sparta meets Gandalf, and we had tons of fun watching it from here. Yeah, because yeah, not every Skaven could overrun this, so he fought them once at a turn while these guys tried to shoot the other Skaven. And yeah, what can I say? It was just fun watching the game. Just looked epic, felt epic. There was also a battle downstairs where the Troll Slayer and some Dwarven warriors charged the Red Ogre, and they fought. And I think it was a real slugfest. We'll come to this in a second. So as you can see, heroically, this guy holding back all the Skavens pouring over the ladder, but this guy just saying, "No, you shall not pass." And yeah, I think this is the engineer, and the crossbow guys taking aim at some that are not involved in in melee. But from this flank, like from the backside, from if you go to the right, all of these reds are trying to sling and shoot and attack those guys. And yeah, and a couple of dwarven trying to reach this ladder to soften up the Skaven. As you can see here on this beautiful shaky cam picture, here fighting on the top, here fighting on the bottom, Slayer and Warrior against Red Ogre, and here this pretty fast running, fast sprinting dwarfs trying to reach the ladder and getting up here. And yeah, pretty dramatic, as you can see. I think the engineer has gone or was wounded and fell to the ground. A lot of Dwarven were hit and had to take initiative tests, and they have just initiative 2 from the get-go, so really low, and you have to roll a 1 or a 2, and then they're past their initiative test. If not, if they're 1 inch from the edge here, they fall down and take a hit. So it was tons of fun watching this, but the Dwarven fighting on bravely. As you can see here, the Skaven flood doesn't end. And here, like, I think this guy fell from the top, and the Red Ogre is doing some real work. And I think a lot of the hits from the Slayer and the Red Ogre just missed. I mean, they were just slugging it out. And this beautiful dwarf, I think he's a miner. He's killing some giant rats, like really cool. As you can see, trying to get up here, and it was just tons of fun watching. I think the Skaven player won the game or won this round. As you can see, Skaven closing in from all sides on the dwarves. And this is the last picture, but they have tons of fun. And I think the scenario said you cannot flee the scenario, but you can end it by turn something like this. But they didn't read that passage, so they kept on fighting and played for an hour or so. But yeah, this is the Mordheim game number 2 and 3, and the next one will be the one with a dragon, and then I will cover some other stuff, but we will come to Mordheim then a bit later. So see us in the